Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Enjoy English. I'm Bruce.
大家好，我是 Bernice.
Today, we are going to look at read, swap, repeat. And, of course, we'll explain that in a moment. But this is our monthly close test, where a word or a phrase is missing from a sentence, and you have 4 possible answers. You have to choose the correct one, and we'll help you do that. For now, though, let's take a look at that title again. Read, swap, repeat. I'm sure you have no trouble with the first word, I hope. Swap, however, means to exchange. Bernice gives me $5, and I give her $1.
I want at least $20.
So, to swap is to exchange one thing for another. Repeat is to do something more than once, and usually the same thing more than once. And if that doesn't sound very clear to you, I'm sure after we read through the material here that you'll know exactly what you need to do, even if this is your first time with us.
没错，今天呢我们要讲的这个是一个克漏字的测验。那它的这个主题呢就是用3个字，好，一个是读书，再来就是刚刚老师讲它是有交换的意思，然后再来就是重复。但是我们今天要介绍的呢是一种很特别的让好书重复利用的一个贩卖机。那等一下呢我们进入到我们的正文里面，大家就可以了解更多咯。
Okay, after the title, we have a subtitle. That is not a sentence, it's just a phrase here. A paradise for bookworms. Paradise is heaven. It's the place you would most like to be for the rest of your life. A bookworm isn't very nice. If you don't take good care of your books, there are insects that will take care of them for you, but after that, you won't be able to read them. Usually, we think of worm as living outside under the ground. Some people use them for fishing or other purposes, but we put these 2 words together to show how close they are. The bookworm never leaves the book. It's always in the book. If the book is eaten, they go on to eat another book.
Oh, my gosh.
So bookworms are something we try to avoid, but they're living things, and they must have a paradise too, the place that they would most likely want to stay all their life.
所以呢刚才我们在解释呢我们这个次标题呢就是专为书虫打造的一个 paradise 就是天堂。那刚才老师讲啦，这个如果你这个书啊不看的话呢，那个虫就会把你的书给吃掉。不过还好呢，现在我们都有 e-books, so we don't have to too much worry about bookworms. Okay, all right.
Are there computer worms?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but we have virus, of course.
Oh, yeah. You can't win everything. All right, let's take a look at our first short paragraph here and get busy explaining this to you and helping you make the right choices. Books are one of mankind's greatest inventions. Usually when we see the word invention, we will think of a machine. For some people, the car is the greatest invention, or a piece of equipment that helps people to build. Good. Yeah, to communicate. Telephones are, for some people, the greatest invention. But for others, books, this is what they live for. They have their own library. They spend a lot of their money on buying new books or going to older libraries to borrow books and so on. So this is our topic sentence, so we can expect to be talking about books during this article.
没错，所以第一个句子呢，一开始的主词呢，就是讲到书了。他说书呢，是我们人类最伟大的这个 invention， 就是发明之一。所以记得你前面是 one of， 所以你后面的那个名词要加 s。
From the farthest reaches of space, that means the most distant places in space, and that's really a long distance, to the smallest corners of a town. Now remember, a town is small and a city is big. A corner is where 2 roads meet, and if you have to cross a street, you will be up on a corner. When the light is green, that tells you can leave the corner, cross the road, and step up on another corner in that area. So that means the smallest corners of a town refers to some place that is very nearby and very small. It's hardly space, which is so great it's even hard to imagine. Well, they allow readers blank anywhere that authors can imagine. They must refer to something plural, and we have the smallest corners of a town and the furthest reaches of space. Both are plural, and both of them allow people who love to read blank anywhere that authors can imagine. Well, what do we put in the first blank? Go, to go, going, or gone. From the furthest reaches of space to the smallest corners of a town, they allow readers blank. After allow, we often add an infinitive.
Yeah.
The teacher does not allow us to use our cell phones in class. They allow readers, be, to go. To go. They allow readers, the authors of books, let or allow readers to go anywhere that authors can imagine. We sort of travel with the author through a book.
好，这个句子呢，它很长。它前面一开始是说呢，从这个最远的 reaches， 这边的 reaches 就是 a part of an area， 就有点类似在一个地方、一个地带。他说从最远最远的这个地区呢，在一个 space， 就是在一个这个太空最遥远的这个太空，一直到，所以用 from to， 就是从 A 点到 B 点，甚至到最小的一些corners of a town。那刚刚老师有讲。Corners of a town， 它就是可能是在它的附近，在它的 nearby， 所以他就讲说，到这个从最遥远的太空一直到城镇里面那些最小最小的角落，这些地方呢都可以让我们的读者，那刚才老师有讲的 allow 的后面加的是infinitive， 就是不定词，就是 to 加上原形动词，所以这一题的答案呢，我们要选 to go， 可以让我们的读者呢到任何地方。什么样的地方呢？ That authors can imagine， 是只要作者在写的作者呢，他想象到的任何地方，我们好像就跟着作者一起去旅行了。
Okay, we'll take a short break. Okay, next paragraph, we have another blank here, number 2. At Manchester's Corn Exchange, a building with a rich history at the heart of the city, an interesting machine has been blank to help people expand their horizons. Well, I was born in Manchester, but not in England, in New Hampshire, a small state in the U.S., and Manchester was one of the great cities of trade and commerce, especially in the 1800s when the modern age began. Corn was a very popular food, and exchange is a business. Okay, I'll give you 5 horses for 20 busloads of corn, or however they did that. But that's what exchange means. Now, exchange is also the place where business is done, and this is a building. So a building with a rich history at the heart of the city. It was built during the beginning period of the Industrial Revolution. And notice, it's at the heart of the city. Here, heart means center. And cities, the first cities were built because of trade, not because people like to live next to each other, and as we do today, and have many people squeeze into one area. The city businesses had their own buildings, and they were beautiful because businessmen have more money than English teachers.
Of course. Much more.
Okay, let me finish the sentence here. An interesting machine has been blank to help people expand their horizons. Our choices are set up, laid off, filled in, or knocked down. Well, if you want to help people expand their horizons and you're talking about a machine, the only one that makes sense here is A. Set up is to make something available to use. Maybe it comes in pieces and you have to put the pieces together, but after that, you have a machine that works.
Yeah, 好，所以呢，这个句子一开始就先讲到一个地点，这个地点呢是在这个 Manchester 的市中心，它是一个谷物交易所。那刚才老师有讲这个 exchange 就是在做一些 trade， 就在做一些贸易的一个地方。那它是一栋 building， 然后这个 building 呢，它有着非常丰富历史悠久的这个历史。它这个历史呢是在这个 center， 刚才讲的 heart of 就是 the center of， 在市中心。所以在这个曼彻斯特的市中心呢，它是一栋历史相当丰富很悠久的一个建筑物。同时呢，它有一台非常有趣的机器，那这个机器呢，在当时就已经被怎么样了？所以 been 怎么样？好，所以我们知道前面你的主词是机器，下面4个呢都是片语。第一个片语呢 set up 就是表示把它设立起来，所以这个答案是最好的，因为我们的主词是机器。所以答案就选 A。 那第二个呢，什么叫 laid off？ 它原型是 lay L-A-Y， lay off 就是把一个人解雇了解聘了，就是他已经不需要这个人了。那么第三个呢 fill in F-I-L-L in 这个字是表示填一个问卷，比如说 fill in the form， 你要填一个表格。那第4个是 knock down， 它可能是蹦一拳把你击倒的意思。好，所以呢这4个意思，当然我们要配合机器的话呢，最好的就是选第一个，设立这个机器。主要设立这个机器的目的呢，是在帮助人们 expand， 就是 broaden B-R-O-A-D-E-N， 你要 broaden 他们的什么东西呢？ Horizons 就是他们的视野，所以主要是要帮助人们开阔视野。
So what we're talking about, it is a book vending machine that offers free books to anyone. I want to know more about this. Now, a vending machine you see every day in stores, on the street, maybe even in your schools. They are machines where you put in coins and metal money, and then you pull something or push something. There's a window that you look into to see what they're selling and how much it costs. And people have to pull me away from the candy vending machine.
OK， 好，接下来他就讲了，那到底这一台有趣的机器是什么机器呢？它其实这个机器呢是一个书本的，好，这一个贩卖机。那刚才老师讲了，贩卖机呢，你可能在街边啦，好，或者是外面的这个不管任何的街上啦，或者是学校里面都会有 vending machine。那这个 vending machine 主要是提供呢免费的哦，好 ，free books 就是不用钱的哦，然后每一个人都可以到这个 vending machine 来借书。
Now I guess it's time to take a short break. And in the next paragraph, to use this vending machine, book lovers are taught or instructed to bring their books and donate them. If you donate, you give something away for free, blank tokens. So our third item here, these are all phrases from A to D, in terms of, in return for, in search of, or in preparation for. Well, since we use tokens in a machine, we give a token and we get something for it. So, in return for is the one that makes the most sense here. Because to return, I give you the token in the machine, and the machine gives to me a used book. So, I give and it gives as well. So, but you need a token, and that's what the book gives you in return for your token.
对，所以这个句子呢讲的就是说呢，一般的人要怎么使用这一台这个免费的书本的自动贩卖机呢？为了使用它呢，这一些书迷们呢就会被怎么样 instructed， 这个字是非常正式，就是刚才老师说的 told， 就是他会被告知。好，所以被告知说呢，第一个你要先带来你自己的书，然后呢接下来你要做的事情就是你要去捐赠。就像刚才 Bruce 老师说，他说有听过捐赠 clothes 衣服的，很少听过这样子捐赠书本。好，所以他说你捐赠书本给他们之后呢，那你就可以怎么样 token 就是代币，像比如说我们去游乐场玩的时候啦，好，或者是去赌场里面的时候就会有代币，你要投进去。那哪一个片语是适合呢？好，这边可以知道我们要把东西带来，然后 donate 这些东西，接着我们就会得到这个东西，所以这样子的一个动作，答案 B 是最好的。 In return for 就是用来作为换取的这个动作。好，那么第一个 A 呢，什么叫 in terms of？ 它有两个意思，第一个意思呢就是以什么观点来看，那第二个意思呢就类似像就点点点来说，比如说 speaking of 点点点，我们可以说 in terms of blah blah blah。 OK， 第三个 in search of 就是寻找的意思，那么第四个 in preparation for 就是为了什么去做准备。所以这边最好的答案呢就是你带你自己的书，你捐赠出去，然后到这个贩卖机之后，贩卖机就会给你一个 token， 给你一个代币。
They can then use a token to choose a book from the vending machine to read.
没错，所以这个句子就是说呢，这一些呢把书捐赠到这个 vending machine 的这一些所谓的 book lovers， 他们就可以用这个 token 呢去选择 vending machine 里面的书来阅读。
The donated book, the person who wants to give for free a book to others, it will eventually happen. It will happen at some time that it would be placed in the machine for others to blank. Let's look at our choices for again. These are all phrases. Achieve their goal is A. B is find their way. C. Make their living. And D. Take their pick. So again, it is a pretty simple process. You use a token and you put it into the machine and you can get a donated book for it, for others to blank. So if you are donating the book, others will use a token to, in effect, borrow your book because they will return it to the machine later. Well, achieve their goal looks really good because that means you can do what you want to do. You have the result that you want. B is find their way. Well, no one's lost, so that's not useful here. Make their living. No, money is not here. These are tokens, remember, so you can't make a living. D is even better than A. Take their pick. Now, pick has lots of meanings, but here it means choice. Because when you're in a vending machine, there isn't just one product to buy or borrow with your token. You have many choices. So D looks really good. The donated book is eventually placed in the machine for others to take their pick.
然后呢，他们最后被捐赠的那些书呢 eventually 就是最后呢就会把它放进去，被放进去 be placed in， 把它放进去到这个 machine。 那放进去到 machine 里面之后呢是要干嘛呢？当然是要给别人来，刚才老师讲类似像 borrow， 你要把它借来的意思。所以呢其他的读者呢就可以去干什么呢？刚才我们看到了4个片语呢，这个 A achieve their goal 感觉好像还不错，我们就可以达到我的目的啦，因为我就是要把书捐出去，然后最后我就会达成我的目标了。B 呢 find their way， 刚才不是老师说又没有人迷路了，对不对？干嘛要 find their way 呢？比如说你说I try to find my way back to the hotel， 好，我可能要找一个路，然后赶快回到我的饭店。那这里也没有人迷路了。第3个 C， 因为只是 tokens， 所以你也没办法 make a living， make their living， 或者是 earn， 我们可以用 EARN earn their living， 就是谋生，那这也不对，所以答案第4个是最好的 take their pick。 这个 pick 就是老师刚才讲的，它是 choice， 表示选择。通常它是指在不同的种类里面去挑选，因为这个书有很多啊，所以呢，你就要在这个不同的种类里面去挑选出来这些书。
It is a pretty simple process. Yep, you just have a token, you put it into the machine and choose a book. That's pretty simple. And we go back to the title now of reading, swapping, and repeating these steps over and over again.
对，所以最后一句就是说这个 process 很简单嘛，这个过程就很简单，就是你拿着你的 token， 带着你要捐赠的书，然后呢，你就可以怎么样阅读了，你又可以去交换你想要看的其他的书籍，最后你又可以重复这些步骤，就是带着这个东西，带着你的 token， 然后呢去借这个书，所以呢，你可以重复你的这些步骤一次又一次。
Okay, we'll take a short break. Okay, let's finish up our last paragraph, this short one. Producing new books comes with some inevitable environmental costs, such as the use of large blank of water and fuel. If you want to make a book, it's not as though somebody collects a lot of pieces of paper and then writes their books and then somehow puts the cover on it. This is done by machines, and books are produced sometimes in the millions. Harry Potter books, for example. Well, what does that take a lot of? Let's see here, number 5. A, issues. B, items. C, amounts. Or D, accounts. Well, we're talking about how much of something there is, and the best word for that here would be amounts. A great deal of, a great amount of water and fuel.
对，所以这个句子呢也是考到的，除了是单字之外，还顺便考到了文法哟。因为你的第5个空格啊，后面接的2个名词都是不可数的 ，water and fuel， 你不可能加 s， 所以这4个选项里面呢，唯一可以搭配不可数的名词只有 C amount。所以刚刚老师讲的 amount 也等于 a great deal of，deal 是 D-E-A-L，OK， 所以表示很多很多的意思，我们也可以用large amounts of。 它的主题呢讲的就是 producing new books， 就是我们如果要制造出新的书呢 comes with， 就是它会带来伴随着而来的就会有一些呢 inevitable， 就是不可避免的 unavoidable， unavoidable， 你会有一些不可避免的 environmental costs， 就是环境上面的一些成本，比如说呢，你一定会用到一些水的资源啦，还有一些燃料。
Continuing, many second-hand books still have great stories to tell. So if you buy a book and then you give it to someone or let them borrow it, then it becomes a second-hand book, especially in these vending machines. Well, the book hasn't changed. If one person liked it, there are sure to be others who would like it too. With clever ideas like the book vending machine, books can avoid going to waste and can be enjoyed by more people. If you buy a book and keep it in your home and you never touch it again, that's a kind of waste, even though you enjoyed the book. Why not give them to the vending machines, and many more people can enjoy it too.
好，所以最后的这2个结尾的句子就是说呢，其实还是有很多二手书啊，它还是有很不错的故事呢，很精彩的故事可以述说给人们听的。因为呢，只要你买过这本书，你喜欢，然后你把它捐出去，别人也可以从这个书里面呢读到一些很不错的故事。所以呢，有这样子的这么聪明的这样的一个巧妙的创意呢，就像这一个我们今天讲的这一个自动书本的自动贩卖机这样的一个巧妙的创意呢，书籍啊就可以避免怎么样呢 avoid 后面要加 ing， 所以 avoid going， OK， go to waste 就是被浪费掉，被糟蹋掉，所以这时候书籍呢你就可以避免它被浪费被糟蹋掉，而且呢还可以被 enjoyed， 被很多的人一起大家来享受阅读这些书。
Okay, that completes this lesson. We'll be around for a few more this month. And hope you can join us for those lessons, too, on Enjoy English. Until the next time, bye-bye.